Welcome to Nasdaq TradeTalks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. We're coming to you live from Money 2020 in Las Vegas, Nevada. Joining me for this segment, we have Jacobsen, Head of Partnerships at Toggle AI, to discuss generative AI and large language models for investors. It is great to have you with us, Will. Welcome to TradeTalks.
Thank you, Jill. Really appreciate you having me.
You got it. And if you think about the widespread generative AI adoption, will the overall impact be positive or negative for the wealth management space?
I think it's going to be incredibly positive for the wealth management space. I think what it's going to do is really enable the best financial advisors out there to really deliver the best possible service to their clients. So whoever's doing well now, I think generative AI, large language models, will allow them to just do even better. I think what we'll also see is probably a lot of advisors that are not up to snuff, that are not doing right by their clients. I think they do get flushed away by the advances in generative AI.
If you think about creating trust in the generative AI space, clearly that's a big part of the conversation. Data in, data out, the responsible use of Gen AI. What have you heard about, kind of these crazy hallucinations? And, can we trust it? Is the data ethical? Is it being responsibly used? How do you respond to that?
Well, I think there's been several high-profile hallucinations that have literally cost companies billions of dollars in market cap. I think one of the reasons Toggle has seen a massive pickup in interest is our focus on doing things the right way. And so let's take the data that is out there. There exists a tremendous treasure trove of data, whether it's client data, whether it's research data, whether it's market data, from people like Nasdaq and others that exists, that's vetted, we have confidence in it. Let's use the large language models to analyze that data, to retrieve that data. Let's not use them to come up with their own data, right? That data exists, there's tremendous value locked up in that data. Let's leverage LLMs for what they can really do, which is access that data.
I'm sure you get the question a lot, can Gen AI beat the market?
We don't think so. We think what Gen AI, if done well, is a tremendous tool. I use we're in Vegas, this analogy of there's a lot of golfers here. Callaway spends millions of dollars on research to get a new driver. That driver will not win the Masters. That driver might make a really good golfer a little bit better to allow them to win. Our AI, we believe, will allow a portfolio manager to be able to more effectively track their positions and then potentially with their skill, beat the market. But at its core, it's a tool, and we think it's going to be the most exciting tool to hit financial markets potentially ever.
I think that's such a great analogy that you make, because the mantra, as soon as we started hearing about Gen AI, and I think because it's consumer facing or more so than other types of AI, that's what really made it catch on. And it's not necessarily here to replace PMs or replace other industries. It's here to just enhance it so you can spend the time on research and developing other new technologies and other strategies and so forth, but it's not here to replace people in the industry. I think that's an important message.
We hear all the time from advisors saying, I use your system and it saves me a minute a day, 7 times a day. And then you start to think about that over thousands of advisors across the entire day, across the entire year. It gets powerful, and I can't tell you how, I think, personally validating it is to work for an AI company with a dedicated focus on not taking anyone's job. Right? We take the drudge work out of people's jobs, and that's why I think Gen AI can really shine.
All right, well, appreciate the insight. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks, and thanks for joining me from Money 2020. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.